Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of craft stores, specifically the ones that we lost over the decades and why so many have closed their doors. And if you're still in a deep, dark depression about the loss of our beloved Joann fabrics, rest in peace, or missing your favorite old school craft shop, this video is for you. Let me know if you recognize any of these craft stores or tell me the ones that I've missed in the comment section below. We'll also talk about the stores still standing like Micheal's and Hobby Lobby's and the challenges that they're still facing. Now, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss any of my crafty content. Alright, so let's start with a little bit of history. Craft stores have been around for ages, but the retail landscape has changed dramatically since the mid-20th century. Back in the day, think 50 to 60 years ago, crafting was a huge part of everyday life. People sewed their own clothes, crocheted blankets, and made their own home decor. Small independent crafts and fabric stores thrived alongside early chains like Ward's Creative Crafts, which was a big name in the Midwest and Southeast. But as we moved into the 20th century, things started shifting and we began losing some iconic names. Fast forward to the 1980s and 90s, we see our first wave of major closes. Take Cloth World, for example, a fabric and craft chain that was huge in the Southeast. It struggled with competition from discount retailers and was absorbed by Joann Fabrics in 1990s, vanishing completely. More casualties: Treasure House Craft, Organ Craft and Floral Supplies, and H&H Craft and Florals, which were snapped up by Micheal's in 1994 and rebranded or closed. Ward's, a Midwest favorite, also bought by Micheal's in 1994 and largely phased out. These closures weren't always about bankruptcy. Sometimes it was about a bigger chain consolidating power, swallowing smaller players to dominate the market. All right, Today's sponsor is going to be brought to you by me. While we're reminiscing about craft stores like Joann Fabrics, let's talk about keeping the crochet community thriving. If you're passionate about crochet and you want to turn your skills into a side hustle or even a full-time gig, then check out the Crochet Influencer Academy. My online course teaches you how to create stunning projects, build a following, and monetize your craft, all at home. With expert tips and step-by-step guides, it's perfect for beginners and pros alike. Check out the link in my description and start today. Now, back to the story about craft store closures. Moving to the 2000s and 2010s, the pace of closures picked up. Hancock's Fabric, a beloved chain, filed for bankruptcy in 2007 and again in 2016, finally closing all its stores after 59 years. I didn't have a Hancock near me, but do you guys remember the store and what was it like? Make sure you comment. AC Moore, an East Coast staple for nearly 35 years, shut down in 2019 after its parent company went bankrupt. Micheal swooped in to take over 40 of its locations, but 105 AC Moore stores were gone for good. And the latest blow? Joann Fabrics. After 80 years, Joann announced it's closing all 800 of its U.S. stores in 2025 following a second bankruptcy filing. Their debt was massive, between $1 billion and $10 billion, and they couldn't recover from supply chain issues and declining sales. It's a huge loss for the crafting community, especially for us yarny people. I'm going to go a little bit off script, but I am going to miss Joann Fabrics so much. The idea of walking into a Joann Fabrics and it's smelling like that fake potpourri floral smell and going directly to the craft section, not the craft section, but the yarn section to look at all the beautiful yarn. I'm a crocheter, so I'm going to miss the fact of having a bad day and doing my shopping spree at Joann Fabrics. So rest in peace, Joann Fabrics. So what's driving all of these closures? Let's break it down. First, online shopping has completely reshaped retail. Amazon, Etsy, and specialty craft sites offer supplies at lower prices with convenience of home delivery. Why hunt for a specific yarn or a shade of color? We can do it from the comfort of your own bedroom. Second, the economy's been brutal. Rising rents, labor costs, and supply chain disruptions have squeezed retailers dry. Add to that tariffs and inflations, which make it harder for stores to keep prices low while covering costs. And let's not forget private equity chains like Hancock, who were bought by investment firms that loaded them with debt, making recovery nearly impossible. Third, consumer habits are changing. Crafting is still popular, but the way people craft have evolved. Younger generations aren't sewing clothes or scrapbooking as much as their parents or grandparents did. Instead, they're into digital crafting, like designing with software or trendy DIY kits you can order online. Plus, crafting can be expensive, and in these tough economic times, hobbies kind of take a little bit of a back seat. Now, let's talk about the stores still standing, like Michael's and Hobby Lobbies. Are they immune to these problems? Not exactly. Michael's, with more than 12,000 stores nationwide, is the biggest player left in this game. Michael's has done a solid job adapting. They ramped up their online store, added same-day delivery through services like DoorDash, and leaned into trendy products like Cricut machines and DIY kits that appeal to younger crafters. They also offer in-store workshops like kids' craft classes and adult painting nights to keep people coming through the doors, but they're not out of the woods yet. Michael was bought by a private equity firm in 2021 for $5 billion. And that's the kind of deal that often comes with heavy debt. If you look at what happened to Hancock Fabrics, private equity debt was a big reason they couldn't recover. Hobby Lobby's in a similar boat, though they've got a different vibe. With about 1,000 stores, they lean heavily into home decor and seasonal crafts, which gives them a broader customer base. They're privately owned, so they don't have the same debt issues as Michael's or Joann, but they're not immune to economic heartache. Plus, Hobby Lobby's had to navigate some PR challenges like controversies over their political stance, which have turned off some customers. So, are these stores at risk of closing just like Joann's or AC Moore? Not immediately, but the warning signs are there. Michael reported sluggish sales growth in recent years, and they've also closed underperforming locations just to cut costs. Hobby Lobby seems more stable, but they're still fighting the same retail battles. The reality is, physical craft stores have to keep reinventing themselves just to survive. Now, even the big chains are struggling to keep up with the world, where convenience and price often trump nostalgia. But here's the bright side. Crafting itself isn't going anywhere. The community is live and well, especially online. Platforms like Etsy are booming with handmade goods, and YouTube channels, like mine, keep the crafty community spirit alive. Alright crafters, it's your turn. Have you been hit hard by these closures? Maybe you've got a story of your favorite craft store that's gone, or a local shop that you're rooting for. Drop it in the comments, and if there's a craft store that you love that's still open, give them a shout out. Let's spread the word and keep the crafting community thriving. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give this video a big thumbs up and share it with your crafty crew, and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have a topic that you want me to cover next, let me know below. Until next time, bye guys.